Hi Gemini, I'd like to welcome back my subscribers and those of you who have never been here, welcome, welcome. My name is Jackie. This is going to be a general spread for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. The name of the spread is They Want No Contact. Is it permanent? Is it temporary? And a little subheading to that really should be what's the story. So I'm going to be pulling a couple of oracles. This one is going to be the crowning energy for your, because I realize if I put it there, you guys can't see it, is going to be the crowning energy for your reading. This is going to be just for you, Gemini, which I'm going to pull at the end. Guys, yeah, remember these are general reads. I do have to say that. Take what resonates, throw out the rest, and please, please, please remember that tarot is only a tool. Only a tool to read the energy, just so you know how to work with the energy. But at the end of the day, we all have free will to make our own decisions, our own choices, right? Yeah. And if this doesn't resonate with you, definitely check out your rising sign, Moon, and Venus for sure, you know, because we get different messages depending on what we're looking at. I always say, you know, for me, I definitely resonate more with my rising and my Venus. Then my moon, then my sun. It's funny. Funny how we're all like that. Well, I mean, I understand it because of my sub-transits, but my sub-planets rather, but all right, let's just get these cards out and get to it. All right, so this row is going to be what your partner was thinking leading up to the no contact. That second row is going to be what you were thinking leading up to the no contact. And this bottom row here is going to be where your partner is at right now. All right? So it doesn't matter what these cards end up saying, guys. If you're in a toxic situation or you were in a toxic situation, I don't care how gloriously this comes out. If you feel in your gut that it is not healthy for you, do not go back to it. Okay? If you're not feeling like you want to jump into what the energy will support, because just because the energy supports it doesn't mean you have to listen to it, right? All right, I'm going to pull two more cards. This one here is going to be if you guys are going to end up being in communication again. And this is going to be some, a little snapshot of your future, what the energy that I'm going to be getting for you, Gemini, only you moving forward. All right, so let's get right into this. We have the Clean It Up card as your crowning energy. This is a great energy if you guys are reconnecting. I can say that. So, because this tells me that this is a time to clean the air, really clean up and take a look at your side of the street, you know, metaphorically, you know, meaning your issues and what things that were really bothering you. And it's time to say what's on your mind, because it's time to get rid of the old stuff so that new energy can come in. This is a perfect energy to do like a mental inventory of what issues were yours and what were your partner's, and just things that needed to be cleaned up in the relationship so that you guys could let go of what's no longer needed. You know, it's like to stop being like encumbered by things that really just don't matter, that could be getting in the way of you guys having actually a really healthy relationship. As a word of caution, though, I do have to just say, you want to be careful here not to try to clean up your partner's side of the street. Meaning, and I know a lot of you are like, don't worry about that, I'm not doing that, but I am getting the need to say this, so I am just going to say that you're not really helping your partner out, yourself, or the relationship if you help free them of their responsibilities of what has gone on. So this is a time for a really open assessment of who's been doing what up to this point, you know, because change can only happen through awareness. And I am getting an energy here where, look, sometimes I guess if you're no contact and you really love the person and then you get back, you're just so happy to be back with them. And I know this, oh my gosh, if I just know so many people who have done this, and it's so much so that I just accept it as part of the human condition. I do understand where they identify all the problems all you know, the way through, and then there's no contact, and then they're not with them. And then when they get back together, it's just this sense of, oh my God, I'm so happy that I'm back with them, that they end up not addressing a lot of those issues that created the issue the first time. And that's how cycles are set up, you know? So this is like, clean it up, really be very focused on what you guys are going to be addressing and getting rid of, you know? But let's get right into the energy spreads here. The first one here that I'm getting for your partner here is the Seven of Wands reverse. So this tells me they were doubting their purpose. they were struggling to be heard and felt like the relationship had too many obstacles, and they were just feeling very unclear about being in the relationship, wondering if it was even worthwhile for them. And as a result, they began to feel a type of anxiety and hesitation, a feeling of being overwhelmed with one problem after another. It's like with them, every little thing became a big thing to them. Every little imperfection was bigger to them than it was in reality, you know? Like if something was really small, to them it was big, almost like they were in their own house of mirrors. They were not recognizing the beautiful aspects of the relationship, but instead they were focusing on all the negative. But I'm getting that this was very external for them, meaning that they were not looking introspectively. They were only looking outside of themselves and even circumstances surrounding your relationship, but they were not taking ownership regarding their contribution to any of these issues in the relationship. Yeah, but I'm getting this put them in a space of not feeling comfortable about moving forward in life with you. It's like they started using these little things, labeling them big things, almost as a way of trying to get out of the relationship. Okay, I'm really feeling something, but let me go on, and I think it's going to end up coming out in a minute. Okay, then we have the Eight of Swords energy, which tells me your partner is feeling very trapped in their mind. Like one bad experience after another. Bad in their mind, it was bad luck. It just started to feel like things were never going to get better. Definitely tells me they were having a lot of anxiety. You know, not feeling happy in the relationship. You have feeling trapped, but by some sort of financial agreement too, making them feel like they had very little money left over for themselves. And Gemini, they just started to feel like they did not belong where they were and that they needed to release themselves from this kind of bond that they had themselves in. But a couple of things about this energy. First of all, this is not a really bonded energy. Like, look at this card. She's not really bonded. Come on now. Come on now. It's like loose, sort of over her, but it's like high. You just feel like she could probably peek out of the bottom. Her legs aren't tied. The swords aren't like in her or anything like that. They're around her. So it's this idea of like self-entrapment, you know? She's loosely bounded. She could still walk away. So this tells me that your partner had themselves in a place that was more mental than anything else. And I'm getting that your partner has a very large ego. I mean, we all have egos. We all do. But some are more invested in theirs than others. Let's just say that. And I'm getting that your partner with this large ego, it's like they felt like they were not being built up enough by you or by their life. They were not feeling good about themselves within the relationship. So something was either going on with you or something was going on externally of you within the relationship, but they were just not feeling good about themselves. And rather than really looking at themselves to figure out why they were feeling like that, they just felt bad and they were like emotionally, they were emotionally pushing you away. Yeah. They were blaming everyone else around them. They were blaming their circumstances, they were blaming you instead of looking at themselves. There is a feeling here, I'm getting a bit of a victim mentality, right? Like they were a victim of their circumstances, not taking any ownership, feeling justified to pull away from the relationship is what I'm getting. And then last in their row is the Page of Swords, and I'm getting that before you guys went no contact, they became very manipulative and cunning and unreliable. And they may have even been saying very unfair and even slanderous things about you to other people. But I am also getting that many of you Geminis were being accused of doing this to them. So maybe you were both doing it, or maybe it was just in their minds and they were deflecting it, but bad shit was being communicated to people outside of your relationship regarding you and your relationship. So, yeah, for sure. They were definitely doing it. Yeah, but they were doing this to feel validated. To feel validated about their pulling away, because I feel like for many of them, there was this something poking at them, telling them that what they were doing and how they were being was wrong and unfair. This is not to say, Gemini, that nothing was your fault, But I'm getting that they had this very distinct internal struggle going on with admitting honestly their role in the demise of your relationship, and they wanted to deflect the majority of the issues onto you. Yet there was something deep inside of them that was poking at them, and this confliction caused them to adopt a little bit of a bully mentality. I'm even getting that some of them may have even been trying to gaslight you. You know, it's like when your partner calls you crazy, telling other people you're crazy, you know, them telling you things and then saying that they never said those things, like really flipping the script kind of thing. That's usually found with narcissism, but I'm not going to say that this was a narcissistic individual because I don't have, the energy is not strongly indicating that to me. Gaslighting can be in very healthy-minded people who are just living in a very low vibration for a period where they're feeling hurt, they're feeling insecure, just really bad about themselves. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Yeah, more to protect their egos than anything else is what I'm getting. And then the first card in your row was the Four of Pentacles reverse, having to do with money. This is saying that you did not feel, on a basic level, stable and secure in your finances, and you were concerned that you simply didn't have enough to make ends meet or to do what you needed to do. So this is telling me that you went through a time of feeling really low in your confidence, feeling really disempowered, Gemini. Yeah. Now, if money didn't have anything to do with any of your issues, okay, this could be your health. You guys not really just having struggling with some sort of health issue. And many of you dealing with like imbalanced emotions, okay? But when I get that with this minor arcana card, it's more of an emotional reaction or response to a time of incredible stress of all kinds, and just really needing to feel stable in your life. Stable in your life, yeah. I mean, it's minor arcana, so I don't feel like it was anything. I mean, this is not to say that, you know, some of you may be dealing with some sort of pathological kind of depression or, you know, something, but that's not what I'm getting here. I'm just getting that you were just really not feeling yourself and having a really hard time feeling centered in your emotions because of what was going on. All right, and then we have the Ten of Wands, which says, oh my gosh, Gemini, so much on your back, just too many demands in every area and feeling unsupported by your partner. Yeah, this is the kind of energy where your head is so full and your life is so busy and not filled with entirely positive things, right? And then someone comes along and says, well, you don't have to do that. You don't have to be that way. Why don't you let someone else do that? Well, if your relationship is bad, end it. You know, if something happened with so-and-so, then just don't talk to them. And you just not wanting to hear it because you're coming from a place of, like, buddy, you have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Like, I can't put these wands down just yet, right? But the thing is, because you felt like you were in a place of not being able to put anything down, you were in a place of not being able to change your situation. And getting that you realize regarding your relationship that your partner was not seeing their role in things, and without that awareness they were not able to change or make adjustments, which you knew was going to keep your relationship in that same unhealthy state. And I'm not getting here in any way that you guys are calling yourselves perfect and, you know, about this relationship. I feel like you guys have recognition of a number of things, of allowing your partner to treat you a certain way and be a certain way. And also I am feeling that a number of you may have pulled away from your partner's energy too. So I'm not getting that you guys are in this space of feeling like you didn't do anything wrong, but I'm getting you were trying to be practical and trying to move things forward by addressing things with them. But it all just became too much. It's like you knew the wands had to be put down. You had to lighten your load. It was becoming just so much that it was deeply impacting you. You knew it needed to be over, and you were feeling that. But you love them, so it was, yeah, it's confusing. And then the last card in your row is the Six of Swords reverse, which tells me that you were feeling that you just needed to leave, but you weren't able to because certain issues or problems needed to be addressed before you can leave actually feeling free. So I'm getting on a very practical level, some of you may have had to stay because of money. Some of you may have chosen to stay because of children or because you're home, or, you know, there could be a number of reasons, but definitely feeling very frustrated by the lack of progress in your life moving forward and not feeling really happy with where you were at. You know, while at the same time your partner was still blaming things on you and not looking at themselves. So I'm getting a combination of these things is what caused you ultimately both to go into the no contact. And then we have the first card in the role of where your partner is right now. We have the Six of Wands reversed, which tells me something that your partner hoped for. Something that they really thought was going to happen, not materializing in the way that they thought it would. Now, this could have to do with, a project at work that was going to bring them money that would have, you know, and this is only for those of your partners where they're worried about money and they felt that money was such a huge issue in your relationship. And if this thing materialized, it would have been kind of, for lack of a better term, but you know what I mean, that it would have been the answer to help you guys get back on your feet. So that's one story that, I don't know, just came to me. But yeah, this is them just not feeling something materializing. All right, I'm definitely getting that many of your partners thought that you would try much more aggressively to get back with them. That, you know, I'm getting that while many of you, I think, did reach out to them a number of times, there came a point where you stopped and that made their tail stand up. And they realized they had no choice but to be patient, because in their heart they knew what you guys had before needed to be done. And I'm getting that they started to actually realize where they failed in the relationship. And this energy shows feelings being declared and being well received. The traditional meaning of this card is good news. So I'm getting that their will to revisit the relationship is coming from a place of them being more self-aware about their role in things. So I do like that, yeah. And then the next we have the Queen of Swords energy in Gemini. I'm laughing because it's like something hit your partner like a ton of bricks to wake them up to where they're seeing where they were blind about themselves in the relationship. I'm saying this because between the Queen of Swords energy and then we have the Hierophant, there were all kinds of thoughts of awakening going on here. The Queen of Wands energy tells me that your partner is in a place here, is in a place rather, because this is current, of seeking out wisdom and different perspectives to see the bigger picture of things, really trying to get a real panoramic snapshot of the reality of where everything is at right now. And if you guys get back together, what will it look like? And they're playing all of these things in their head. And I am getting that this situation did end up making them stronger in some way to the adversities within the relationship, because I'm getting that many of your partners were easily scared away in relationships and just so afraid to look at themselves, you know, because look, relationships can be heavy and difficult and have rough patches, right? But there are some people that don't have the endurance emotionally and mentally to endure periods like that in relationships, you know? And they'll never admit this, but it's like they only want the good. I mean, don't we all? But there are people who really can only exist in the good and a very limited amount of bad until they evolve and until they mature emotionally to be able to handle those things. And I'm getting that this has happened, you know? Yeah, them accepting their role in things. Yeah. And then we have the Hierophant. So, I don't know, I mean, I feel like some of your partners were seeking counsel or someone outside of themselves. You know, it could be a therapist or a clergyman or a shaman or just a really good friend or a family member who they trust. But this energy is one of self-realization and expansion. Time to develop emotionally and spiritually and to commit to relationships. This is beautiful. Becoming more spiritually aware. This is a beautiful card. You know, it indicates commitment. And this is also an energy that supports looking at things differently. And what I mean by this is looking at a pattern of thinking or an area of thought that was believed in up until now, but now is being questioned. You know, how good is that for them? How correct is that thought? How relevant is that way of thinking anymore? So they're really asking themselves questions. So I mean, I like that. I like that. And then we have going into your advice column, it starts off with the Seven of Cups, which I love this card. You know, it's not only confusion. I know sometimes it tends to have a negative spin on it, but the Seven of Cups is higher consciousness. It's being able to envision a utopia. It's having abundance. It's having... there's 5 cards that are really positive, and only 2. We have the baby dragon here. It's the baby dragon, and then the wreath, which are still positive, but these are the energies that indicate, okay, can I trust this? Can I trust this? Yeah, okay, higher consciousness. I see what I want. I see what I can have. I have my willingness. I understand I have the opportunity for, you know, growth and like a resurrection of within this next phase of my life. But is it really possible? Can I trust it? And it's this confusion about, do I trust? It's the, I've been through so much up until now. Can I trust this? So this is you and your partner really looking at both feeling that way, seeing in each other that you can have so much happiness, but feeling insecure about being able to actually make it happen, you know? Yeah, which I think that's normal. I think it would be weird if you didn't feel like that, right? And then we have the Magician, which is very beautiful advice card to get, guys, especially in this kind of spread, because the Magician is proof that our perception of the world and what we believe to be true can change our outcomes and our paths, and how incredibly our minds really are. This is a real as above, so below energy, indicating that our experiences in the outer world have a deep relationship to our inner world of personal experiences, right? There's a cause and effect that goes on. So the way people treat us does impact how we feel about that person and the situation we're in with that person. You know what I mean? So this is the card that says words matter, actions matter. Love is a verb. It's not a noun. It's not a noun to be put on a shelf and looked at. Accountability falls under this umbrella. So, you know, because look, it's really hard to be with someone, and many of us have been there, when you're with someone who has no real level of accountability. It's so hard to feel comfortable and completely yourself with someone like that, right? Or to feel comfortable to put your guard down. So I'm getting that you guys are finally figuring that out, you know? And then we have the Wheel of the Year energy. It's a Wheel of Fortune and many other decks, but I love this. You know, why not throw a little Jupiter juice in there for good luck? This is a Jupiter energy, which is the great benefic, bringing luck and fortune, bringing a time of growth and expansion and introspection. Yeah, especially in areas of love, this energy is going to remind you of who you guys have been and give insights into who you are now. And you're blessed with the imagination to visualize what you guys are going to be. Not what you can be, but what you're going to be, because you're going to have that will to make it work. This is a wheel of fate. This tells me that you guys are in a space of really being able to exercise your free will and free desire to put the work into this relationship. I'm a big fan of this card in any deck, because I'm a big believer in free will. I really am. We have free will. We use tarot for advice on how to navigate the energy. You know, it's not religion, it's advice, right? So I really love that. I really do. I love that for you guys. We all need to be reminded that we have free will from time to time. It's funny how the best of us forget about it sometimes, right? And then we have the King of Wands energy, which tells me that you guys are both going to have such an incredible moving forward. Such a healthy space, reflective of that Magician energy. How beautiful. You know, look at this card. There's like a sexy confidence about this card. Can you guys see his face? I don't know how well you can see it. But even just the way he's sitting, and you know, there's a reason that the artist made him like that. And again, this is not gender specific. But yeah, I mean, I love it. It just, it makes you feel like you're going to have everything that you need. But in order to get there, you guys are both going to need a certain level of confidence. That means letting go of any fear and any ego that might slip in. And the reason I'm saying this is because this is a Leo card. And with the passion and the spirit of Leo, which is a fixed fire sign, can be love Leos. I love Leos. No shade on Leos. I have a ton of them in my life. But they can be egotistical and dramatic and occasionally domineering. They can. So just make sure that you and your partner are calmly discussing how you guys will move forward, and that you're both mutually and equally involved in the choices and decisions. Okay, so Gemini, let's pull your card to see if the energy is going to support you guys being back in contact. Yes, it's an Eight of Pentacles. That's very much a yes card, so we do like that. Okay, now let's turn over, Gemini. This oracle is going to be for you, something that you need to be mindful of. Okay, and we have the Fates, okay, which is a kind of karma. It says it's a karma card, not a kind of karma. It is a karma card. Yeah, and this just wants to remind you that there are things that you can't change. And it's important to understand what those things are. This is reminding you that other people are who they are, and you just need to accept that. And the challenge is to accept them as they are and not to try to make them any other way to suit you. You know, and I guess we all do this from time to time, but this is a time for you to look at how you might attempt to mold people to fit your view of how they should be, so that you can remain in the relationship more comfortably, you know? So this is really you recognizing who people are, you know, and that whatever is happening between you guys is perfect from the perspective of spirit. Yeah, I really am getting that this is a message to love unconditionally, because listen, Gemini, each of us, you and your partner, we're each on our own journey. So we can't be directed by someone else, right? We have to remain our own sense of individual, right, within the relationship. So you have to know, though, that this relationship really is fated, and that you are meant to evolve into a better version of yourself as a result of this relationship. And I'm getting that very strongly. So, listen, you guys know if you were in a toxic relationship and you're not going back, Spirit is saying you make sure you look at that relationship really hard, and pull out every lesson that you were supposed to learn in that relationship, because this is fate at work. But I am getting a lot of you guys are getting back together. I'm getting that more than anything. But I do have to acknowledge that this is a general reading, and not everyone is that's not gonna resonate with everybody. And this is a prediction for you moving forward. Ooh, Eight of Wands. Love that. Love that. Because the wands go down and dig into the earth and stability happens. That's beautiful, because that's what you're wanting. That's beautiful. You're going to have a will to move forward, and things are going to happen quickly. This is going to be quick for you. Be on your toes, Gemini. Things are happening very quickly. And let's see, when am I doing this? What's today's date? Today's May 4th, right? Today's May 4th, yeah. So we're like kissing up to Gemini season here. Yeah. I love it. Gemini, that's what I have for you. I'll see you guys next week for the end of May reads. Take care. Bye-bye.